and we are rolling. What, are you kidding me? I'll tell you what, the last time we recorded?
In about, 1985 maybe?
It was 12/19/2022.
Wow.
So we missed all of last year. 2024 was a wash.
Dude, we're drinking wine again, so at least we're keeping that going.
Right?
Welcome back. It was just
Welcome
about a year and 3 months.
I mean, that's nothing. No, listen, life gets really insane. Obviously, you travel more than I do, but I'd like to start out with talking about the biggest highlight of our 2024. I'll start. I can't believe I did it. I flew with my wife to Scotland, and then we took a ferry over to Ireland. I was gone. How long was I gone? Maybe 2.5 weeks? Bananas. Trip of a lifetime.
One of your dreams.
I don't like saying bucket list anymore because I think it's stupid. This bucket list mentality, it's a bucket list thing. I just fucking do it. I don't want to hear about your stupid list.
You know what? You don't even have a bucket. I know you.
I don't even know what it means.
That would involve cleaning. You don't clean.
I don't clean.
You clean with a bucket? You mop the floors?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You have no bucket.
I haven't pulled out a bucket in a while. I mean, we have a lady who comes, but I clean. Don't think I don't clean.
Let me ask you a question.
I Swiffer.
When you're... All right, well, everyone needs a hobby, I guess. But when you're in Scotland, do you feel kind of like, oh, these are my people? Or do you feel like I'm an American on tour in Scotland? Did you feel a kinship to those people?
In Ireland, I did.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Ireland is like a spiritual calling for me. Like, I feel if you toss out the bucket list and replace it with past lives, I feel like I've been there before.
Really?
In ancient times.
Did you feel like if I was a young guy in the 80s, I would probably be in the Pogues with Shane?
Oh, yeah. And who, God rest his soul, we lost him and Sinead.
Right.
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, when I was in Dublin, I knew Shane was in hospital, so I was looking for him, believe me. We had some time in Dublin. We stayed an extra day. I was looking for him, but I never found him. But yeah, no, especially in Ireland, I would say definitely. I mean, Scotland is beautiful and historic, and we saw so many magnificent castles, but they got to work on their toilet paper. And also their booty wipes.
Working on it meaning lack of it, or
no.
The actual quality of it.
The paper's available. It's just. There was a lot of one ply going on.
Oh,
and
really?
a flakiness. And I don't like a flakiness.
Isn't there kind of a toilet paper famine going on over there?
And dustiness.
Dusty paper?
I don't know anything.
You don't want that on your ass.
I don't know anything about a TP famine in Scotland. I have not gotten that breaking news alert. But I'll tell you what, it was a little rough at first. And there weren't any bidets because I would have used that. I would have been fine with that. But I didn't see many bidets. I think they Americanize a lot of these hotels a little bit, maybe.
Oh.
They're not. I just assumed, because I've been to France, I've been to Spain.
Right.
And I remember that, it seemed like in every room there was a bidet, but not so much in...
Do they think that Americans are one-ply people?
I don't know what they think. I mean, no disrespect to the Scottish people, to the Irish people. Their toilet paper sucks. And their booty wipes suck. So thankfully, I bought a package of my own booty wipes.
Yes, a package, not even a crate.
Honestly, there were 2 packages.
I bet at least a carton.
I got to tell you what, after a while, we were on a tour, and for many people, that's not the way to go. I loved it. Every time I brought up that I'm going over there, oh, are you going to drive? Are you scared about it? I'm not fucking driving ever. I'm never driving in Ireland. I'm never driving on the wrong side of the street.
You're being chauffeured
Correct.
by somebody that knows what they're doing.
Absolutely. His name was Patty O'Farrell.
Of course it was.
And he spoke mostly in hard consonants. And so next thing you know, we're going to go over and we're going to look at the Harry Potter house. And then we're going to go over here. It was just... He was amazing. He was a true patriot. And I learned a lot about the very dark history between Britain and Ireland.
Oh, very dark.
Very prevalent and still
Going
going.
on. Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize it was as
Generational.
divided as it is.
You know, absolutely.
Yeah. But I learned all about
And there was a succession movement. You know,
Yeah.
they wanted to not be part of the UK and be their own thing.
I
And,
think it's still happening.
you know, then obviously you've got inner turmoil, north and south, Protestant and Catholic.
Exactly,
all of that.
and that's all still very
sad.
prevalent.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, we were on a big, beautiful, gourmet, air-conditioned bus with a bathroom on it and Wi-Fi, and that was good enough for me. Big, giant windows. I saw Highland cows, man.
What does that mean?
Have you ever seen the Highland cows?
No.
Those are the guys that are... it's a cow.
Yeah.
But it's got long, shaggy hair
Oh.
and big, giant horns. You know what I'm talking about.
I guess so.
The Highland cows.
I mean, it sounds very prehistoric.
My heart's in the highlands wherever I go. So it was just a real rite of passage. And the biggest thing, the biggest accomplishment of that trip by far, leaving my dog Barney Fife for that long in the care of someone.
But you don't know, really.
I did not know him. He was a friend of my wife's assistant. And, I would have preferred more check-ins with photos. But if you just nudged him a little bit, you got the photos. This poor guy, I put him through the ringer, Lorenzo, with taking care of Barney. He had to come over, I think, 3 times before we even left. We hired him one night just to be with Barney, just to see how it goes.
Before you went. So
Yes.
he's in your house with you.
Correct.
Oh.
Nicole and I went and had a date night because we thought there was a restaurant on PCH closing. It ain't closing. So we had a little seafood, and then we came back, and everything went well. But I drafted what is called the Barney Brief, and it was a 6 to 7 page manual
That's very brief.
on how to on how to take care of my dog. That was rough, but I did it. I don't know that I'm going to be doing that again anytime soon. But as soon as we got back from the trip, I'm like, oh, I might have the travel bug, like international travel bug.
And Barney was okay.
He was fine.
Did he lose 5 pounds? Was he skin and bones?
No. Well, he lost a little weight, which was great. He's on heart medication now because he has a heart murmur. So we just had to put him on a new food that calms down his bloating. Well, he's 9. But there's another critter who's come in, and we'll get to her later. But we now are talking about going to Germany.
Oh, why there?
Very desperately want to visit Auschwitz. I align with the Jewish people, obviously, because I married my stepdad married into a family, and I don't love Holocaust movies, but I'm very obsessed with that World War II Germany, Berlin.
Well, it's going to be a downer. I was in Dachau.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, a long time ago.
When's that?
That was actually right after college. That was part of a tour I did, and man, you feel it.
Yeah, I want to feel that.
You will.
I want to feel that. I went to the Holocaust Museum in D.C. I went to the Holocaust exhibit out here at the Ronald Reagan Museum, and it was just so powerful. But seeing things like that, it just reminds me of my humanity. Like it just, as long as I know I still can weep for something that happened long ago to a people that I think are just magnificent. You know what I mean? It was very powerful. So we want to do that, but again, we kind of adopted another dog, and we'll talk about that. But I don't know if it's going to happen as soon as we thought. We were thinking maybe 2025.
It still could.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's a year from now.
Yeah.
Germany will still be there.
At least we won't feel as bad about leaving Barney now because, he's got a little friend.
He's got a friend that you can trust.
So what was your highlight last year?
My highlight, wow. Actually, it was also travel.
Yeah.
I went to Kenya.
Right.
And went on safari. That was really, really cool.
Is that you would say that is the one highlight, Kenya?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, Kenya was a big highlight.
Right.
And then we went
Didn't you go to Ethiopia?
No, that's coming this year.
Oh!
I'm going to Ethiopia in August.
Do they still have those poor little flybaby people out there? The
Yeah.
little guys?
A lot of food has not gotten there over there.
Still.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
It's so sad.
They need a lot of help.
Well, are you going to help them when you're out there?
I'm going to help a tribe, a little village that a friend of mine is from. Actually, my friends adopted a little girl when she was 1.
Oh.
And she's from a little village somewhere in Ethiopia.
Right.
And they found her birth father. So they're taking her, she's 18 now, and they're taking her to go see her birth father because she wants to meet him. And they asked us to come along.
Wow.
So we're going on this excursion for her to meet her birth father.
Okay.
And he's remarried.
And you know this kid?
Do I know my friend's kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I'm kind of Uncle Lorenzo to her.
Oh,
And
wow.
we're very close.
For 18 years you've been close to her.
Yeah.
This is Charlie's kid.
No, this is our Nigel and Marisa.
Oh.
Their kids.
Their kids.
Yeah.
Oh.
Her name is Sophia.
Yeah, they're your besties. Okay.
They are.
So Sophia.
Yeah.
Now, how does Nigel? I mean, this is kind of personal. We probably maybe don't want to get into it, but is he all right with the kid going to meet the real father?
They found him. They wanted to find him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
That's nice.
Yeah. Everything's cool.
So you're looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be quite the adventure.
Well, now that I'm got the bug, I'm also seeing behavior on airplanes worse than ever. I'm seeing hatch doors fly off. I'm seeing tires fly off. I'm seeing windows explode.
Fights.
Just awfulness. It's truly mind-boggling that most people can't just get on a plane, grab a drink, shut the fuck up, get through your flight, get off the plane, and go to your next destination. It's amazing. There's all these problems. So now I never want to get into a plane.
Well, if you go to Germany, you're not going to drive or go take a boat. I guess you could take a boat, but I don't see you on a cruise ship. So
I've taken cruises.
Although there might be better toilet paper on the cruise ship.
I'll just jump in the ocean and wash my ass out in that case.
All right. Good luck getting back.
But okay, so as far as flying to Ethiopia, what does that take?
That's a whole day.
Yeah.
The flight to Africa from LA is huge.
Right.
Huge. But, you try to be as comfortable as possible. Uh-huh. You drink as much as possible.
Right.
And you just try to sleep if you can.
Yeah, I know you can sleep on a plane.
A little bit,
Not
but
me.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to, every year, we usually, the whole family convenes in Dallas, where my sister lives. And I was supposed to go in February, and it all got postponed. All kinds of problems.
Oh.
So I can't even tell you how actually relieved I was that I didn't have to get on a plane again.
Right. Well, the whole process now sucks. Not to mention the fact that post-pandemic, there aren't as many pilots.
Yeah.
The pilots didn't come back, so they have all these planes.
Right.
They don't have pilots. People in the air traffic control tower, they left.
Right.
So there are very few air traffic control people, and the demand is higher than ever. So the system just sucks.
Right.
So if you're going to fly, chances are it's going to be delayed. Mm-hmm. It's going to be canceled.
Right.
It's going to F up your plans, and you're going to have to just be as flexible as you can.
Yeah. I realized
just go on a drive trip.
I realized I packed way too many books in my backpack because that's just the number one dumb thing to do. And everyone's like, why can't you just read on a Kindle? And I can't do that. So I had a lot of books in my backpack on the way to
Heavy.
Scotland.
It's a heavy load to schlep around.
Books are heavy.
Yes.
So when you're on a plane for 2 days or whatever, flying to Africa, do you have a book on you?
I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Okay. What do you listen to?
Oh, man.
Not this one.
I don't listen to ours. You know what I like? There's a podcast called Smartless.
Okay. Smartless?
Smartless.
LESS?
Yeah. Really, really good. It's 3 friends, Jason Bateman. And,
them. Yes. Yeah, I've seen stuff on them.
Yeah, they're great. I listen to them.
They
NPR.
keep you laughing?
They do.
Yeah.
Really interesting guests. And informative stuff. Listen to NPR. Mm-hmm. And there's one called Fresh Air.
Mm-hmm. I know Fresh Air.
Terry Gross. She's really good.
Yeah, I remember Terry
so,
Gross.
I kill time doing that.
I work in radio. I know who these fucking people are. You
All
think
right.
I don't know what NPR is? You think I don't know what Fresh Air is?
I don't know.
So,
do you actually leave your house? Do you know what Fresh Air is?
There is a director, and he is Italian, and he was born in New York City, and his name is Martin Scorsese. It's not Scorsese, Lorenzo. It's Scorsese.
And do you know who he is?
What was the question?
I don't remember.
All right, so that's a highlight of this year.
That was a highlight of last year.
No, I'm saying Ethiopia,
Will
that's
be.
a big trip.
That's a big trip. That will be a highlight for this year. The other thing that we did is that my band, The Color Up,
Yes.
has just released a new album.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by the packaging. It says Time and Energy, which I thought was the title of the EP, and then I see Hours EP.
Right.
What is that? Is that a subtitle?
Sort of. What we did, we have 9 songs. We wrote 9 songs during the pandemic. 'Cause
Right.
we couldn't perform, and what's a band to do? So
Right.
we wrote songs, finally recorded them, and we thought today people's attention spans are so low
Right.
and so small that we would take 9 songs. The whole album is called Time and Energy,
Right. Okay.
but we chopped it up.
Got
so
it.
we're releasing 3-song EPs.
Hours, seconds, and minutes.
That's exactly
I guessed
right.
it.
You did.
Huh?
Yep. So we just released the hours one.
All right.
In a couple of months, we'll release the minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll release the seconds.
Okay,
But
so-
then collectively, the whole thing will be called Time and Energy.
Okay, I gotcha. So, what's the significance of the hours? What is the meaning of the title?
It's the title of one of the songs.
Oh,
And it took a lot of time and energy to make this
Yeah.
thing.
and life takes up a lot of time and energy.
It all does. I mean, you can use it for anything in your life. It's kind of universal.
Right.
And then Chevy, the singer, had the idea to at least take the tie-in to time and do the hours, minutes, and seconds
Right,
for
right.
three EPs.
Oh, I gotcha. And energy gets the shaft.
Energy gets the shaft, which is, I
Well,
think, going to be the next album.
You could put out a promotional energy drink.
We yes,
Yeah.
we'll get right on making a drink for this
You'll
album.
have a drink for the next one.
Right.
And, you
Right.
drink this while you
Right.
listen to it. Well, I listen to it on the way over here in the car because I love listening to music in the car. I love it. I get the little well, see, I don't have Bluetooth in my car. My car is very old. But I do have a wire and a nooga-dooger that I stick in and I put it on my phone so I can get everything through the speakers. I thought it was great.
Thanks.
I'm always amazed by your drumming. But my favorite song was the second one, Complications.
Yeah,
I like
thank
that
you.
one. That was a really
That's a
cool-
groovy one.
Yeah, a lot of it kind of remind me of your other band from the old days, Nectar. Kind of had a Nectar. Are you participatory in the actual writing of the music?
Yeah,
Oh wow, that's cool.
yeah. Chevy and I got together and did a lot of the creation of the songs.
Okay.
And then our bass player came in a little bit later.
Yeah,
He
he's
wouldn't
great,
come
too.
in the beginning of the pandemic. He
Right,
was a bit
right, right.
skittish, but
Right.
a lot of it was built from the groove up.
Yeah.
So I had some grooves I wanted to play. And
So
then-
how do you start? Like you have a groove in mind? Like,
Yeah.
So can you give us an example of what a groove would be? Or
well,
need to be on the
actually, that
drums?
one specifically, Complications.
Yeah.
I had a groove that was inspired by an Afro-Cuban rhythm
Right.
that I play on congas. And I play it in this Afro-Cuban group that I play with. And it's actually called Wawanko, is the actual Afro-Cuban groove.
Yeah.
And there's one part that I play a lot that's really, really groovy and kind of funky. And I was thinking, how could I take that part and translate it to a drum kit?
Right. Right.
And so I came up with this groove based on the Afro-Cuban groove.
Right.
And Chevy and I are in the room and say, hey, dude, I got this groove. What would you do to this?
Right.
I started playing the groove, and literally the song was born in like 30 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So you just do it on the Congo?
Well, I did that one on congas originally.
Yeah.
That was the inspiration. Otherwise, I just have grooves in my head. I hear rhythms in my head all
But when
the time.
you present them to Chevy, are
Yeah.
you playing the bongo?
No. I'm playing my drum kit.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, it's all drum kit.
Okay. In your studio.
In my studio.
Can you do it right now on your lap? Give us the groove.
Play
Play the groove that led to Complications.
Can you hear this?
Yeah. Yeah. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doo, 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 shoop, ba-doo, shoop, ba-doo. Plagiarism. That's a beautiful groove. I like it.
And so that inspired Chevy to do something,
Okay.
And that's, boom, a song is born.
Wow, that's cool.
It was fun.
I love musicians. I do, and we played together in a band.
We did.
We did an REM cover band called. It wasn't a cover band. It was a channeling band. We channeled REM, like early REM, and it was called "It Came from the South." And we had a kick-ass show at Molly Malone's. Tons of people. It was so cool. But then it ended, and here we are years later. I believe that was 2012.
At least.
Yeah, maybe even a little earlier.
Yeah.
Might even been 2010.
And then...
So that would be, I don't do math, 14 years ago?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Isn't time
that was pretty good addition right there.
Isn't time kind of flying?
Time and energy are flying. Yeah.
But here we are today, and lo and behold, Michael Shannon is out there with his REM cover band.
Where did he get that idea
They're
from?
a cover band.
Yeah, but where did he get the idea
And
from?
I'm sure there's countless cover bands, and I'm not saying Michael Shannon ripped us off, but it was a little like, Well, I guess if I was Michael Shannon, we would have gone a little further with our little outfit.
Probably. And maybe the actual members of REM would have come to our show, but they didn't.
Good point. All right. So as we enter this new year, well, wait a minute. We're in March. We've already entered it. You're going to Ethiopia. What else? What's next? What's next for Lorenzo? Besides another recording of Guys Day In down the road.
Well, I hope it won't take another year and a half until we get together. But, well, we're getting the album out, all the usual places if you want to listen to it and, all the streaming services. And then we're going to stagger it. So then we're going to get the one that's called Minutes out.
Yeah.
And
all these are done.
They're all done. They're just in the wings waiting to be released. And I'm just trying to now take a breather.
Yeah.
And kind of enjoy life, man. Yeah. And now there's time in your schedule to get together, drink some wine, and talk. Now I have to turn it, forget me for a while.
Yep.
It wasn't like you were just, sitting on your butt, wiping yourself with one ply. Well, you are a voiceover actor, and you're busy, and you're doing some cool stuff.
Yeah.
You got Chester Cheetah.
Yeah.
And word on the street. On the street, just right down the street.
Yeah.
Literally a block away on the corner, people were saying that they heard that Max Koch's kind of writing a book.
Yes. Well, it is. I've worked on it now. I'm about 80%, I would say 85% done. And it has been quite a labor of love, very intense. But I decided, I wanted to, during lockdown, during pandemic, I wanted to draw a book, something new. And then my friend Kari Walgren, a voiceover superstar, she's like, well, instead of drawing, a new book, you've got all those purple binders of stuff throughout your entire life that you've drawn. I mean, why don't you dip into that well? And it'll be much less work. I mean, famous last words because it's been so much work. But I thought, that might be a good idea. Not that anyone's going to buy my book. I hope they do. But I know I'm not going to get Simon & Schuster to put it out. So I found a really great bookmaking website. I asked around. I didn't just fly into this. And I've been building the book myself. I've been editing the book. And it's called Max Koch Draws, a Crude Retrospective. And basically, it's kind of jumps around in time a little bit, but it's a lot of drawings. I think in the end, this thing's going to be about 240 pages.
Wow.
Yeah.
But is it going to be organized where the drawings are different aspects of your life?
Yes.
And stages of your life?
Yes, there are thematic chapters. It kind of, like I said, it bounces around in time, but you've got the early stuff. Then I actually have a chapter of stuff that I got hired to do. When all of a sudden you're getting paid to draw, how that changes and how you have to adapt to styles that the client wants. And I'm hoping to do this. I've got this new product, and I don't really know how to market it. So if you could draw like a kind of a funny looking doctor who looks like this, and then he'll show me like his favorite newspaper comic strip. Can you draw in this style, like Far Side or whatever? You gotta adapt, and
right.
It's Max Koch channels Gary Larson, I guess, and draws a doctor, and then he winds up liking it and he pays you. So there's a chapter on that. And there are other chapters. There's a chapter about the dark side of my head and all of that stuff. And in that chapter, little spoiler alert, I give people the opportunity to pass that chapter. And like, if you don't want to look at a lot of gore, if you don't want to look at a lot of disturbing shit, if you don't want to be put into a major depression, actually just skip the whole book. But no, with that chapter, they can jump ahead to
Go buy Cat in the Hat.
yeah. But and then as far as writing goes, yeah, there's some writing in it. There's not tons of it because it's a drawing book. It's a book of drawings. But there's some clarification, and then there's stuff that it's funny when I started it out, I showed like 30 pages to my friend Carrie Chow, and she was like, "Wow, this is great, but why do you have to explain every drawing?" And she was right. I'm like, "Why am I explaining every drawing?" Well, I saw this guy in the park. I saw this guy over here. This guy was packing my groceries at Vaughn's. We see that it's a guy packaging groceries. People can assume it's a grocery store joke.
You don't need context for everything.
No. So that was kind of liberating. Then it was like I kind of started over again with that idea in mind of not explaining everything, and the rest was history. So I'll have my own ISDBN or my own barcode for the book.
Oh, okay.
So I can sell it. It'll be on Amazon. It'll be on Barnes & Noble. It'll be on all
Well, that's
those.
really cool.
Yeah.
But besides just artistically, these are the drawings I've done. Is there any tie-in to, in this period when I was drawing this is what I was going through personally?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was suicidal here. I was happy on this day, but then I was suicidal between, 85 and 2004.
I can't even tell you how many drawings reminded me of how broke I used to be. And how
this is when I had no money, and I had less money in this day.
And it's like, I have to do something. And oh my God, I remember when I was drawing this, I was living on top ramen. And yeah, I mean, the drawings, so many of them just brought back all these crazy memories, And then it's kind of weird because, I don't really draw a lot anymore. Every once in a great while I draw, but it's been so much more about doing the old stuff that now I'm kind of sick of the old stuff. And here's the thing. Not everything's going to fit in the first book. So there might be a second book.
Part 2.
Depending on how well the first one does, there could be another book.
I can't see why the Max Koch fandom, which is pretty huge
I got some
around
people.
the world.
I got some people.
I think they're going to buy this book.
I got some people.
Are you going to have a book signing?
No.
You should.
Who's going to come to that?
I'll come.
No, I'm not doing it.
All right.
If people want me to sign their book, they can just mail it to me and I'll sign it and send it back to them.
Okay.
But they have to pay the COD.
Will you sign mine?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Do I have to mail it to you?
No. I'll just, next time I see you, I'll
Okay.
just sign it.
All right.
But no, I'm really very excited about it. I wish I had gotten it out sooner.
It takes time, man.
Well, this is the problem.
You're a self-editor, so you have all these drawings over, 40 years, and you have to go, okay, and the ones that maybe were in yesterday are going to be out tomorrow.
That's correct. That's correct. And it's just so much work on me, and it's like, it's funny, I kind of started teasing it on my Instagram in December, and then I'd add whether or not the drawing shows up in the book or not, I would tease a little on my Insta, and I'm like, I can't quite say yet. Like, I used to shoot my wad. Hey, the book will be out in January. Thank God I didn't do anything like that to buy me some time.
Yeah.
So I've just been saying, coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. So my hope is to get this thing out by the end of May.
End of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'll be a good time.
But that's a great project and a great road to go down. Mm-hmm. It's almost like someone writing an autobiography. This is an autobiography in pictures.
Is. It's very...
So you have all these memories, things that you forgot about flood back, things probably that you couldn't even remember how they were drawn or why.
It's really powerful looking at the kid stuff.
I bet.
A lot of violence in the kid stuff. Because I was abused.
Therapeutic.
I was abused. You know? I was beaten mercilessly by, my first stepdad. He was horrible. Oh. And I point out in the drawings, like I drew a family portrait that'll blow your mind. I must have been 6, 7. Wow. I drew a family portrait, and the way I depicted him, he looks like a fucking monster.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Because he was.
He was. I'm really excited about it, and it kind of makes me feel like even though I'm a big nothing in the end, and it's actually all a big nothing, there's a little something. I did achieve this. I did draw these things, and people seem to enjoy my stuff.
It's your perspective on everyday life.
Yeah, I think people because I'm so accessible as a guy with a big-hearted fella, I curate my Instagram. Like, I'm always answering comments, and I always feel like I can't leave a message in my DM because I don't want people to think I'm being an asshole or whatever. But that is really draining after a while. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be good for me to have this book and let that carry the weight. Just, you want the drawings, you want the craziness, you want the darkness. It's right here. It's in your lap. I'm going to let people know the first thing you want to do is, dim the lights, get under a warm light, get a glass of wine going, and just go. And don't worry about getting through the whole thing at once. Take your time. Because it's funny, the few people I've shown it to, not the whole book, but just a few pages, it takes them forever to look at one page. And I think that's a good sign.
It is a good sign.
Because they're looking at all the detail.
Well, it also sounds like it'd be actually kind of a good coffee table book.
That's kind of what it is.
You know what I mean? And people can just pick it up and say, what book is this? And people can get different reactions. Like, you know what? The guy in my store kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that what you do is if something or somebody that you are like a hero of yours dies, you have a lot of famous people, drawings, rest in peace, homages, and you do it in a great way.
Yeah.
I had one in my studio, the one you did of.
What do you mean had? You got rid of it?
I think it fell down. I have to get a new frame for it.
Oh, okay.
But Lou Reed, you did a great Lou Reed picture.
Yeah.
But you've done so many.
Yeah.
You know.
Actually, a lot of those aren't going to be in this book. I was hoping.
What?
Some will.
Because of copyright or?
No. Just room.
Oh.
There's just too much.
You should
other
include
stuff.
some though.
Some will be in there.
Okay.
Some will be in there, but not all of them.
Okay.
No, that's the great thing about editing. It's like I can't just put everything in there. And
no, you can't.
And a lot of those people enjoyed a lot of those, and I think a lot of those are not very good.
Well, part 2.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the part 2 is for. The part 2 is a nice, like, I know I have this as an option. You know what I mean? And it's really interesting. I talked to one person who I respect, and I said, do you think I should say volume 1 in the first book? No, don't say volume 1. Don't say volume 1. And this guy's published books.
Well, it's because now you're now obligated to do volume 2.
Why do I do that to myself?
Because you like.
Why do I ensnare myself in obligations that I can't fulfill?
That's going to be on page 27. Look at that photo. That's the ensnared photo.
Yep.
And it's you ensnaring yourself.
Yep.
It's like you fishing.
Totally.
And you're pulling yourself on a line out of the water, and it's you.
Yeah.
You're fishing yourself out of the water.
Yeah. So it's just been great. There's been some stalls. So let me this is the other really big news, and I want to talk about this because I think I think people will appreciate it. Anyone who has ever had a kitty or a puppy in their lives. So Malcolm died, Malcolm the pug. I have got Barney Fife now, he's 9, and Malcolm the pug died in 2021. So it has been a couple years, and Nicole was really feeling the need to adopt a new dog.
For number 2.
For a rescue, right? So she has found all of our dogs. Now, you, the listener, don't worry about what Lorenzo says because he doesn't like animals and he doesn't like domestic animals.
It's 100% not true.
He likes them from afar, but he doesn't want them inside his house. So the point is, Nicole has found every dog that we have had in our since we got together. Our first dog was a pug, and he was a puppy. And we actually bought him from a breeder because we were young and stupid and didn't know any better. But we haven't since. It's all been rescues since. But Bugsy, you remember Bugsy?
Of course.
Yeah.
He was the original.
He was our first puppy, and that was 31 years ago.
Wow.
In Seattle, Washington, right? So here we are, and Nicole finds this dog. Incredible shout out here for Pug Nation LA. This time she goes, let's go look at Pug Nation. There's a lot of dogs on the website. And she's like, pick out your top 5. I'll pick out my top 5. And we did that. And we went down there and we were meeting all these kind of gnarly dogs. We had to drive down to Carson, right? And I'm walking through the warehouse of dogs and I look, because it's like a warehouse district where they're all kept. And there's a whole dog world in there.
But like a huge kennel in a way?
Yeah, it's like a giant warehouse with a ton of kennels and like AstroTurf and mazes and all kinds of fun stuff. It's a great facility, but it's a facility where abandoned dogs live, waiting to be rescued, right? So I'm walking through, and there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of barking, there's a lot of pooping, and I look over, and I see this blonde thing jumping up and down in like an office. We meet a bunch of dogs. I say, "Who's the kid in the office?" And the gal goes, "Oh, that's Pink. You want to meet Pink?" Yeah, well, Pink was abandoned, and she was 8 months, pregnant with 8 pups, and she's a mom, so she just had 8 pups. I'm like, holy shit. She would like a rest, right? So let's meet her. So we met Pink, and we thought she was great, and we thought she was super sweet and beautiful and all these wonderful things. So we thought, all right, we're going to apply for Pink. We applied for Pink. I had to drive down to Carson again just to pick her up. We picked her up. We brought her back. Now, Barney Fife, he's not the most friendly dog when it comes to other dogs. He's trepidatious. He has a few dog friends, but not a lot, right?
He's territorial.
He's territorial.
This is my house. What the F are you doing in my house?
Correct. Pink attacked Barney Fife.
Ooh.
Very viciously, very aggressively, 3 times. Unacceptable. And it was heartbreaking for us because we never give up on a dog. And I see Pink's potential. What many didn't see, what slipped under the radar, was she's aggressive towards male dogs.
Oh.
And they actually pointed it out, like, yeah, we realized there have been some incidents, but we just thought it was territorial over food and stuff like that. No, she
anything with a penis is, forget it.
She was a street dog. I mean, God knows what she endured.
A lot.
The trauma. So we felt awful. But then we realized, well, wait a second. She had those 8 puppies. What if we return Pink? It didn't work out. I'm sorry. She didn't like Barney Fife, but can we look at the puppies? Lorenzo, I'll never forget it. We walk in. There's a pile of pug puppies in the lobby in a cage, a little round cage that's open, and they're climbing all over each other. I have the video on my Instagram, and I look down, and there's this little blonde cutie pie just looking straight up at us, wagging her tail, and both Nicole and I said, that's it. We'll take that one. What's that one's name? And her name was Peridot, and rescue groups, they don't have time to name these things.
Sure.
But I thought that was a very unusual name. So sure enough, we went back and we talked about it. We worked it out. We figured it out. We're like, okay, we're in our 50s. So how are we going to deal with a puppy? That's a lot. That's a whole new, that's training and
energy and
da-da-da-da-da. Dude, we go down, we pick up this little pug, chihuahua, God knows what else mix. We bring her back. Barney's already traumatized now by anything that looks like Pink.
Sure.
So Peridot comes in and he's like, fuck this. I'm having nothing to do with this. It took 2.5 to 3 weeks for him to even come close to warming up to her. Mm-hmm. So we changed her name to Grace because I wanted to name her Shaban because I'm so into the Ireland thing now,
Okay, right.
Which winds up meaning heavenly grace.
Okay.
She's a little burst of heaven. She's a little burst of sunshine. She's innocent, and she's a baby. I mean, she's now almost 4 months old, so she's definitely growing. And I tell you what, she has brought nothing but humor, love, light, and sunshine into our lives. We had to keep her quarantined this whole time pretty much because she's got to get her vaccinations. I don't know if this is fascinating to you, but I will tell you, they're out there. If you're lonely, if you've been thinking about it, go out to a rescue group. You can go. There's so many rescue groups out there. So many dogs need a home. We got a really, really, really bad situation here in Los Angeles with dogs. So many are being dumped at shelters. So many are being put down. But go to these rescue groups, and they are so particular. They want to see where you live. They really put you through you can't just go grab a dog. They want to make sure you're
it's going to a quality home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
well, they care about the dogs that are there.
It all worked out. So here's the one thing.
And you've got a little ball of heaven.
Yes.
Giving you happiness.
Yes.
Which is what you need.
She fills my heart with joy, dude. And
That's
these
great.
are dormant. Rarely do I feel joy.
I
These
know.
are dormant feelings that she has opened up inside me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't even believe you even had dormant happiness inside you.
Here's the thing, though, that was sort of unforeseen. My wife and I, we have a pretty fruitful relationship in the intimate quarters.
So it bears fruit.
Well, no, because we're so dumb, we always let our dogs sleep with us. So Grace, the little gorgeous, cute, innocent, sweet, doe-eyed puppy, sleeps with us in the bed.
Preventing fruit.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Preventing fruit. So the sex has stalled significantly because it's a little weird when you start to get amorous and things start to get a little hot and heavy, and you look over and you see this little baby, and she's just looking at you, and she's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And that ain't hot. That's going to give me a boner deflation. Thank you.
Well,
But we'll get past it.
you know, think of it as a spectator.
Oh, we've had spectators.
Think of it as, you got a performance here.
Mm-hmm.
You got an audience of one.
Yeah.
And, give her some tips.
We've been having sex in front of dogs for so long, and it's been fine. There's just something different about fucking in front of a puppy. It feels
Kind of sacrilegious in a way.
a little bit. It feels
a little wrong.
unseemly.
I see.
It feels almost abusive.
Wow.
She shouldn't be witnessing that.
Wow.
I don't want my little baby girl looking at porn prematurely.
Well, would you actually call it porn, what you guys are doing?
It's gross porn.
Isn't it like
It's middle-aged porn.
25 seconds tops?
Oh, I stay in there.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. So, but she has really changed the game for me, I think.
Except for the sex in a very positive way.
Yeah. Absolutely. And she loves to eat, so it's a whole thing when she gets fed. And we're feeding her this fucking really fancy, expensive shit. Kibble is no more in this household. Now it's just for dogs, which is like human food.
Well, maybe that's why she's looking at you, because she's just hungry. There's a new invention. It's called a door.
Yeah.
What if you put her on the other side of the door for 25 seconds?
Oh, she'll whine and scream like
Okay.
crazy. You can, but maybe we'll give her a little doggy CBD one night and
There you go.
quiet time.
Yeah, just give her drugs.
Yeah, I'll just wait till she goes to sleep. But so that's really what's been going on.
That's
dude.
a lot.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
you've got dormant happiness springing up. You
Yep.
have fruit ready to bear.
Yep. I'm working on a book.
Working
you're,
on a
you're
book.
going to Ethiopia.
I'm going to Ethiopia.
When is
and
that trip?
That's August.
Oh God, isn't that going to be hot?
It's probably going to be hot. Yeah, but that's just the way the timing worked out. And, working on new songs
Yeah.
and trying to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that you and I can do this more. There's
Absolutely.
more wine to drink.
I
There's
would love
more
it.
things to say. And the whole point of all of this is just to kind of BS, catch up,
Yep.
see each other,
Totally.
and record it.
Thanks for listening. And once Grace gets this week, she gets her last round of vaccines, so she can hit the streets then. And when she's more grown, a little more grown than she is now, I'll be able to come for as long as I want.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because I know after this, you got to fly home.
I do.
And I want to come over and see her.
I'll be there in 90 minutes of traffic after this, but yeah, you have to, dude. Yeah, I think you'll find her so cute.
I'm sure she's really cute. Maybe she'll unlock dormant happiness inside of me.
Yeah.
You know?
She might unearth something deep down inside that.
I might want to come home and, bear fruit.
But meanwhile, this guy just got himself a beautiful new saltwater fish tank that he showed me
did.
today when I walked in. So
I'm having
you're going
fun
to
with
have
that.
all your own pets.
I'm going to have all my own pets that,
Yeah.
will not watch
who are going to be spoiled.
anything I do.
Yeah.
But I will give them designer food, though.
Yeah. Well, if you and Naomi choose to, get down and dirty in your living room.
That's true. We'll have a
They're
bunch
going to
of-
look at you. They're going to peer through the glass.
We're going to have a fish audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, that's my kind of pet. They're confined in a tank.
Yeah, you like that. You don't have to deal with the poop.
I don't
the
have to
piss,
walk
the-
them.
You've
No.
hired guys, little
Yes.
crabs, to eat the poop.
The crabs in the tank eat the poop.
I'm not
That's
so,
right.
I'm not so lucky.
No, you're not.
Lucky.
No, you got to.
I'm going to leave you with this.
Okay.
because I know you're a man of music. I saw 2 legendary artists this week, and it actually turned out to be kind of aligned. Like they were the perfect combination.
Is this in one concert?
No. On Thursday night, we saw Madonna.
Oh, my God.
My 8th time, of course, because, my wife is a Madonna freak. I took a great video of her on Instagram, and she starts to actually get emotional talking about how much Madonna has inspired her. We had a little shot of Johnny Walker Red in the car, and right outside the Forum there. But so we saw Madonna, and Madonna's 65 now.
Right.
But she put on a great show.
She can still move?
Yeah, and thankfully she didn't start 4 hours late like she usually does. She only started about 90 minutes late, so that was bearable and tolerable. But dude, even more than that, and it's kind of perfect because it's Women's History Month. Are you kidding me? Saturday night, Nicole and I drove down to Long Beach to the Karen Carpenter Center at the college down there. We saw Charo.
What?
It was
Gucci.
extraordinary. She's one of the great flamenco guitarists.
I actually do.
She studied under Andre Segovia.
She did. Can she still play?
Well, you're not on my Instagram, but I posted a video of her playing, and I'll send it to you.
She is amazing.
Dude, you would not believe how wonderful she was.
Wow.
She's so funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, the coochie, that's one part of
That's
it.
an act.
That's definitely a part of her act. She came into the audience. Wait till I send you these videos.
But also, if you go back in the day
Yeah.
and see her when she first started, what a hottie.
Oh, she's still hot.
Is she really?
She's still hot.
Wow.
I mean,
because she was always playing this weird character,
Yeah.
kind of dopey, but she was always really pretty. But then she bring out the guitar, and you're like, holy shit, she could really play.
I've always been a fan of hers. Always. I love.
And she was with Xavier Cugat.
Yes, she was.
Who was famous for holding a chihuahua at all times.
Oh,
He
yes.
always held a chihuahua.
I'll be damned.
And she was with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I was always a Tonight Show Johnny Carson guy. Obviously, I lived on Jerry Lewis telethons growing up. And then, of course, Love Boat. Are you kidding me? We own all the Love Boats, and she's on like half of them. So it was a very, very special
That sounds
night.
inspiring.
It was so good, dude.
Did that her herself, just seeing her, also bring up dormant happiness?
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
So you've got Dogs and Charo to thank
My heart,
for this happiness that's been dormant, coming up,
bubbling
bubbling up the surface.
Yes. My heart has been healthily pounding in a loving, light-filled way.
I'm so depressed right now.
Tomorrow I'm going to wake up wanting to kill myself again.
Right. Yeah, I hear you.
Thanks for listening, folks.
Thanks for listening. Good to see you, Max.
Good to see you, brother.
Hopefully the next time will not be
Yeah.
a year and a half.
No, we're going to do this soon.
Everyone that's listening, take care of yourselves.
I like it.